What are you mourning? Like, did you actually have real enthusiasm and hope in a visionless candidate who said nothing?
Yeah.
Never, ever said anything that was clear that you could sit there and go, okay, let's have a debate about this policy position. It was so vague. Like, what hope did you lose? Oh, it wasn't about Kamala. We were trying to defeat Trump. What does that tell you?
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you. You know, and it's funny because that's a good question because I was raised in a middle-class family and
It's good.
here we are.
Yeah.
So finally, I'm so glad this shit's over.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're so glad that political ads are over. And now Christmas music starts. So it's like...
they just skip, what about Thanksgiving music?
It's over.
You can't just skip over Thanksgiving music.
I don't understand.
I don't either.
Music.
Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
How do you think it makes the Pilgrims feel?
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the Native Americans who gave their lives so that we could eat turkey once a month.
You celebrate Thanksgiving every month with turkey?
We're a thankful family.
Yeah, that's good.
What's wrong with you? I'm starting to think you're not very proud to be here.
Proud to be an American. Cue the music.
Yeah, cue the music.
Yeah.
That would be great.
That'd be good. How many seconds can we do of that being copyrighted?
I don't know. I thought you knew those.
I think it's 10 seconds.
I rely on you to avoid fines.
Yeah.
And if you can't come through for me, this relationship doesn't work.
Yeah. This relationship is like, it's very unique.
It is unique.
Because I'll do podcasts with other people and I'll have good ones.
Yeah, we have a very open podcasting relationship.
I asked a question, like I did one earlier today.
Yeah.
And I just spilled all over myself. Like I didn't know what I was saying.
Right.
So I just took it back. But it's different because the other person's like, man, this guy sucks. He's an idiot. But I do that with you and you make light of it. We have fun with it.
Yeah, buddy.
It's good.
Hey, listen, I'm your cleanup man.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. This is your show.
This is my show. Okay. Yeah. You do all the work. I show up and just talk shit.
But that is the work. That'd be like telling the front man of a band, like,
hey, you need to break down the set.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That was a Tom Petty reference, breakdown.
Well, I didn't know that.
I'm reading his book, so it's like on top of mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's good.
So I've heard it.
Yeah, man. So I would just like to say, and I can't remember if we recorded this or not, but my prediction about the election, I think, was that it was going to be a landslide.
I told you this like a year ago.
Well,
no one wanted to listen to me, but I'm sorry. That was just me trying to like...
Well, and that was also just me pretending as though I'm the only one who thought that.
But you did. You did say that.
I said it, but I'm one of
Did you believe it going into, things were changing and the media is saying this or that and the betting markets are changing?
No, not for a fucking minute.
You didn't believe those people. You believed conviction, Jared.
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, and it wasn't just because I had a feeling. So in all seriousness, the way that I looked at this and why I believed it was going to be a landslide was for several reasons. Do you want to hear them?
Yeah, I want to hear a couple and I'll let you know if you want to keep going.
Let me know if I should stop. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two were good. The other ones, we don't need to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very simple. It's not some complex, and then this system connected with this system. People being, obviously, the majority of people have been very dissatisfied over the past 4 years. And I won't go into the obvious problems of like the way that the Biden administration handled the COVID response. The way the Trump administration handled the COVID response was shitty as well. I'm not, trying to just pick on.
Sure.
But Biden was here for the majority of the impact of COVID on the country. So those actions, the increased inflation. And again, I know a lot of this stuff is not just like the Biden-Harris administration comes in and then they create this disastrous economy. This is a compounding effect, obviously, of several administrations, the kicking of the can down the road. Eventually, it was going to happen. So I understand that. I'm not so stupid to go, Biden and Harris came in and then they just fucked up the economy. No, it's just been delayed for a long time, right? So there's a lot of things that have to change there. But all in all, that was all part of people's, near-term memory. This is how we feel. Gas prices went up, food prices went up, inflation's going up. We'd all gotten so comfortable and used to these 0% interest rates on things, whatever it might be. It was so nice.
Yeah.
It was great. It lasted for a long time. It was wonderful. Then more importantly is just, there just didn't seem to be solid footing on anything, whether it be global affairs, domestic policy, and you've got a guy at the helm who doesn't seem like he's there half the time.
Yeah.
So number one, that's a big problem. Number two is, Kamala Harris was thrust to the forefront as the nominee without any kind of primary. Nobody had ever cast a vote for her. She never had to make a case to the American people why she should be the nominee. She didn't have to make a case to the Democratic Party why she should be the nominee. It was just her turn, and it would be wrong, and you heard all the media say this, is that they would never put somebody up against a woman of color. And to me, I keep coming back and going, this is the problem with the Democratic Party, is so entrenched in identity politics, is that they put that over qualification, And it's like, dude, then what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure, because when she doesn't win, you can just say that everybody's racist or misogynistic. And so they have no standing on policy. They have no clear vision for what the future is. And that's all you really needed. You needed distance between the reality that we're living in now. You needed a candidate who could clearly express a vision, who took strong positions and ideas and beliefs, and was not afraid to state them, as opposed to playing the generic Democrat who, has no position, says nothing meaningful, and does not have a vision for the future, except for vibes. And to me, Donald Trump should not be a hard candidate to beat. He shouldn't be.
I don't know. Well,
I mean, I've got commentary on his stuff there too, but to me, it's just, this is the continuation. This is the reason why it was a landslide. And this is why I thought it was going to be a landslide. I had not met anybody who was enthusiastic about Harris. The media was over-indexing on this fake enthusiasm for her and trying to cover up and pretend like she was this great change agent. And I just thought, how stupid do you think the public is?
Yeah. They tried really hard, though.
Yeah.
So I would ask this, why then? And I think I know the answer, but I want your answer.
Yeah.
Why are people so shocked? I was going to say surprised, but I think it's past that. I think people are like, and they're like, do you know anybody who voted for Trump, who voted for someone else besides her? And I'm like thinking, I think the numbers are like at least over 70 million at this point. And that number is going to go up when they finish counting all these other states. And I'm like, do you not think that some of the people you're talking to are probably not lying, not even lying to you? They just don't want to tell you because you would just kick them out of the family or the friendship.
For sure.
Circle of trust, right? I don't know. But why are people so shocked? Because like, if they'd have talked to us, you could point to analytics on podcasts, which we've been talking a lot about here. The Joe Rogan show across all the different platforms, over 100 million views.
Yeah.
When Kamala shows up on the Call Her Daddy podcast, 1 million views. So even if you skew those numbers and were to say, yeah, but people want to listen to Trump even whether they like him or hate him, maybe those numbers, whatever that thing is. And even if you change the percentage or like the variation at a massive level, he still outperformed her. Like the level of engagement that's there is for him and not for her. But then people, when this happens, I guess they were shocked. And I asked you, but then I'm going to answer it a little bit.
Ahead.
Is the media lied to them this whole time? But everyone's living in their echo chambers. This could be an echo chamber. And we're not like team this or team that. That's why we got
soundproof walls.
That's right.
Boom.
Yeah, it's just so easy. I don't know. I'm saying all that shit out there, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, so
shock is the word. Shock and awe.
Not everybody's like this. I'm this way because this is a big part of my profession, just being able to, teaching people how to be an objective observer and understanding what the motivations and the narratives and the stories are behind all kinds of political or any type of issue, right? Saying, okay, well, this is why this group feels so strongly here, and this is why they feel strongly here. And I may have agreement on one side and on the other side. So I don't fall neatly into one of those camps, but most people are easily put into one of those camps. Not because they're stupid, because they're busy, right? So we've incentivized a system that makes it easy for you to get the headline, whatever it is that the publication wants you to take away, without reading the article. Most people will scan that and be like, oh my God, that's shocking. Did that really happen?
I don't think they asked that question.
No,
I know what you mean.
They think it did really happen.
Right.
Right.
Well, because the media, they can do whatever they want. They can say something so crazy that they know is a lie, and then they can even correct it a week later.
Yeah.
The damage is done. It's already been seen.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's a few things here. I believe the people that are totally shocked are the ones that are still hooked to very corporate, mainstream partisan media. I'll steel man the argument if Kamala had won as well. But they are still, so the MSNBC, The View, just all of these, they're entrenched in that world. The Morning Joe, and they're thinking, these people are smart. They're college educated. They must know better. And of course, we're in that camp. And if you vote for Trump, then what you believed, if you listen to that story, is that you're voting for the next Hitler. There's going to be a fascist regime. That Trump is behind Project 2025, which has never been, he's vehemently denied that, has distanced himself from it completely. And I know where that Project 2025 comes from. It comes from think tank. I think we talk about this. This is a scenario project that didn't go anywhere. But sure, it's a great tool to scare people into thinking that Trump is going to somehow, thwart our entire constitution and take over the government. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the attention span to make it happen either. And he's also not an ideologue.
Yeah.
He sways and moves depending on what's in his best interest. Trump is a known quantity. We'll talk about that in a second. But for her, and having no policy position to take, having no real substance in her interviews and in her talks, anything that really hit home and go, you're going to fix this immediate problem that I have. And instead, we have to dump tons of money into convincing you that she is the change agent, that we're not going backward, we're going forward, and whatever, all these platitudes, that she is going to be the answer to the problems that we have. Nobody that I know, and again, that's limited to me, but nothing that I never heard any convincing argument from anybody that was true. The only argument they gave for voting for Kamala Harris was that Trump was such an existential threat to the United States. How could you vote for him? You have to vote for Harris, because the option to vote for Trump is a vote against democracy. I mean, how much fear-mongering do you hear about, I think Michelle Obama was saying this too, is that if, Trump wins, women are going to wake up the next day with fewer freedoms. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Based on what information?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's just an outright lie. And so I just get disgusted by that, because it's clear manipulation on the masses. When I say masses, I'm going to be a little, generous with that, because how many people are still tuned in and locked into mainstream media like MSNBC, CNN, Fox, any of those, and think this is what's right. You still have them. They're the ones who are shocked and just completely appalled. But they're also the ones who have bought into a story about Donald Trump that is grossly exaggerated and does not bear out in his actual historical record. Does he say a lot of obnoxious, bombastic, authoritarian type shit? Yes. Was he ever able to enact any of it? No. He didn't have the power to. And it wasn't because there was one good, person in his administration who just stopped it. No, it's called the fucking Constitution. It's called, the rule of law. And people say, yes, but now he's got a Supreme Court that he put there. They have gone against him on many things because they are following the letter of the law, the Constitution. And if Trump tries to do something unconstitutional, his own Supreme Court will stop him. They'll say, yeah, but what about Roe v. Wade? Do your history on Roe v. Wade. The Democrats had all the time in the world to codify it into law, and they never did. So you should be upset with them for shitting the bed administration after administration after administration. I'm just saying. So it's a very narrow scaremongering tactic to get you to vote for Kamala, because the big bad boogeyman Trump is so much worse. It's going to be The Handmaid's Tale. It's going to be Nazi Germany. It's going to be you fucking name it.
Yeah.
And that's why they're shocked. And that's why they're scared. And that's why they don't feel safe. But I have news for you. You're fine. You're actually going to probably be super fine, just like you were when he was president the first time. You were fine.
Yeah.
You might have been annoyed with all the coverage of him, but at the end of the day, you were fine. You were never unsafe. You were fine. And it's going to be like that again. Now, had the results gone the other way, the same group on the right wing who is glued to Fox News or glued to Newsmax or is on Truth Social all the time would have immediately been being like, this was rigged. There's no possible way. The voting machines, blah, blah. I mean, their narrative would have been, they're stealing it again. It wouldn't have been, we lost and oh my God, I'm sad. It's, we did not lose. There's no way we could have lost. And there's got to be fuckery in the system. That narrative was already built in. That fear-mongering was already being prepared. So both groups were on a knife's edge, terrified of what would happen. And then the pollsters and the media were like, it's neck and neck, it's neck and neck. I never believed it was neck and neck for a second. Not for a second. First of all, Joe Rogan says this all the time, but he's right. Who the fuck has time to answer polls? I don't, you don't. It's the most annoying thing in the world. I'm getting text messages from numbers I don't recognize. I spend more time deleting and reporting junk nonstop. You think I'm going to answer that poll? Who's answering these polls? They were so far off. And I just didn't see the enthusiasm and the excitement for Harris or for Trump for that matter. Not like before, but none for her.
Why did the big pollsters, they got it wrong, right, the day of?
Yeah.
They got it wrong. Some of them even pulled it down to say, well, it's not matching the analytics. Hold on a second. That's like the Cleveland Browns shut it down at halftime. It's like, well, they're running a different defense.
Don't
We
get
didn't
started on
expect
those
this.
shitheads.
So it's like they'd been gaining followers, engagement. They're just taking advantage of people, and they're getting people to
The
shit.
Browns?
The
Yes.
Browns, yeah, they
Yeah,
definitely are. Right. But like these are big time.
Yeah.
What you could do though, what I did is you go to the poly market, you go to the betting sites
Mhm.
where the money is, where there's
Yeah.
actual skin in the game, and you start seeing the numbers, and you're like, pretty early in the night, poly market had it like 85% to Trump. I was like, holy shit, this fucking thing's over.
Yeah, but right then and there, that doesn't take a great deal of genius.
No, it does. I'm not saying
That's
it does,
just
but
like,
these people,
I'm seeing right
but
here in
at
front
the
of my
same
face
time, they're
right now.
like, there's a path to victory. And I was like, this is done. This isn't like a football game where you actually play the game out and we don't know the outcome.
Mhm.
The votes are already in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just, I think if you get out there and talk to people,
Mhm.
you get your hair done. I don't know if you ever get your hair done.
I don't. Maybe I should.
And you learn a little bit about the person that's cutting your hair,
Yeah.
where they're from, where their background is, right?
Yeah.
And they start telling you. And then the person that you thought that was the Biden Kamala person, not at all.
No.
They're like, there's no fucking way. And then everyone else, and you're like, oh, well, that person's something, whatever they are.
Mhm.
And you would think, well, that's a Kamala supporter. No. So I just don't know if people are getting out there and talking to actual people. I think it's
Yeah.
like you said, you live in you don't even in an echo chamber, you live in one inside
Mhm.
the metaverse or something. I don't know. You like that?
Nice.
Yeah.
You fit it in every time. Man, you're so good at
Our
that.
sponsors require it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
they do. Of
Yeah.
course they do.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. It was funny when my wife and I went to go and vote. She was joking around about something, and she was like, "So, who are you going to vote for?" We've been going back. I mean, we essentially just canceled each other out.
Yeah.
And so here's my glasses. I have these Oakleys, and I just wear these sunglasses all the time. And she's like, "You're going to vote for Trump, aren't you? You got the glasses to do it." And I was
Oh,
like, "What the hell's that mean?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, "That's fine. You're going to vote for the nameless blob that was unelected, who's going to be,
Yeah.
running Kamala just like they run Biden." So
Yeah.
how does
Pretty
that
sweet.
feel?
Pretty cool though. You guys are still together after all that.
Yeah, because neither of
I
us
know.
cares that much.
I know.
I mean, like my wife was disappointed, but again, I always have to come back to this on principle and say, but why would you be shocked? Why would you be disappointed? Again, I'm so disgusted with just the way things have been and again, a lot of this is rooted in my own high hopes that because I voted for Biden last time. Again, not because I liked him, because I was like, I'm just ready for this fucking disaster. Like, again, there's a lot of policies that Trump has that were good. It was exhausting. It just was like, okay.
Yeah.
Can we get back to some sense of even fake statesmanship, where we at least can tell ourselves like, yeah, we can still hold it together. So I was like, I'm happy to just kind of get over this chaotic era because it was taking up so much time and resources. And I thought this should be super easy. There's no way you can fuck up taking over after Trump. And boy, did they fuck it up.
Yeah.
On so many levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just did.
Could have been worse. I wonder had he won his second term, and he
Mhm.
would have done some stuff. I get it.
Yeah.
They could be setting themselves up for like a long time. I don't know. I mean, no one knows that. But, something interesting is like the 2030 census.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people from the Northeast have moved down south.
Yeah.
So the southeastern states are going to get more delegates.
Yeah.
They could be really fucked. With the closed borders, the Democrats.
The problem's not hard to fix for the Democrats. They are just so fucking arrogant and so disconnected. This is what drives me nuts. My expectations for the Republicans back in 2016 and before that were so low. I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen and heard. Like, I just thought, this is insanity, right? And then the people that were in the Republican Party that were elected officials thought, oh my God, they were Trump sycophants. It was very cult-like. And I just thought, this is so stupid. So I had no expectations of them.
Right.
Of the Democrats, I'm not a fan either. I thought, at least they can, for the most part, seem to hold their shit together. No, they continuously make the same mistake, which is they think they know better than you, the voter. They think they have the right answer. They think that if they just tell you what reality is, that you're going to take it, you're going to buy it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
And the most recent proof of that is the fact that there was no primary to replace Joe Biden. None. I'm sorry. Again, why would you be shocked that Kamala Harris lost the race when nobody ever cast a vote for her to be the nominee for president? Nobody. No single person. Democrats, independents, anybody. She never had to make a case, never had to create a vision, never had to defend a position.
Yeah.
She just had to get out there with her vibes.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And now people are saying that's unfair that she only had 3 months, and you're just
What
like,
the fuck?
yeah, yeah.
Of course, they're making excuses. And then you hear right now, like all the media pundits, who are they blaming? The voters.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't give a shit about the Viewer and these other dipshits. But, of course, you see a clip of Joanne Reed, from MSNBC basically saying the problem is that white women didn't come out and vote for Kamala. It's like, oh, cool. I see. So the race politics and the identity politics that you guys have leaned so hard into, you think that's going to work? That's what's fucked you up over the last 8 years, over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But you lean hard into this thing because you can't let it go, because God forbid you're wrong.
Yeah.
And that's the arrogance of an elite mindset that does not grow, that thinks everybody else is stupid and loves to infantilize their voter base.
Yeah. Very divisive.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go talk to people, the ones that they're calling out that didn't do it, and then they tell you the opposite. It's like, this is two different things happening right now.
Yeah. And this is why I just always try to encourage people, like, number one, don't get so hung up on politicians, because your life isn't really going to change much.
Yeah.
It just isn't. You may see less taxes. Here's the other thing too, right? Another thing that seems to have shocked a lot of the pollsters and the folks, this is what they're talking about, is all the split ticket voting across the country, North Carolina in particular.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You've got a ton of people who voted for Trump, but then voted for Josh Stein.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of that's not shocking because Mark Robinson, what the fuck?
Yeah. Disaster. Yeah. Yeah.
How did he get to the top
I
of the
don't know.
ticket?
Chances are because that person's not going to win.
Yeah. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, Josh Stein clearly had it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I voted top of the ticket, voted for Trump, and fans are just like, hey, because I've said my position was this, not because I think Trump's going to save us or that I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
But I just felt like the direction we're going in, and just my disgust with the way that the Democratic Party had handled with the nominating process and also handled the last 4 years. I'm just over it, man.
Yeah.
Like, again, I go back to this. They're trying to scare a bunch of people into this fear that Donald Trump is going to become an authoritarian and become a dictator. But when you look at the party that has taken authoritarian action, who has it been?
Right.
The Democrats.
Right.
Just go back and look at COVID, which a lot of people have forgotten. Do you not forget like how many people lost their jobs because they refused to get vaccinated?
Yeah.
Because they refused to, I mean, it's insanity. We don't have to relitigate all of that. At some point we should. But that's my point, is that I look more on record. This administration had a record of instituting authoritarian policies, also heavy collusion with the tech companies to censor and demonetize people. It was a control system.
Yeah.
This is what happens in a fascist dictatorship or a communist dictatorship, any type of dictatorship. When you have top-down rule, you must control the narrative. You must control the means of gaining and sharing knowledge.
Did Elon Musk have the most baller move ever? They all made fun of him.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was great.
Yeah.
Because he basically showed how easy it is to defeat that kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
They didn't see it coming, though. They just thought, he's just wasting money and all this kind of,
because they're so out of touch. Just like they think, oh my God, how did Kamala Harris not win? Well, why would she have won?
Right. Right.
Nobody ever voted for her except for you guys. You just put her in that position. Like, I mean, that's just how out of touch they are.
Yeah. They never saw the Twitter X thing coming. Then just, he changed the name to X. Like, you're focused on the wrong shit. That does not matter.
Because they have no vision for the future. They have no, and I'm not saying the Republicans do.
I get it.
Like, if you are
Elon's got a vision for the future. I mean, that's his whole fucking business, right?
For sure. Yeah, he does, So who knows?
So why would you not, you would just let your distaste for something because you don't like him, and you'd say, well, he's got too many kids or whatever. He's been with too many women. But again, you're losing sight. Like, you're not going to his house for Thanksgiving. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't put my faith in Donald Trump. Here's the thing. Donald Trump made a lot of promises. I do think my expectations are that this is going to be a lot better than the first 4 years, because the first 4 years, I still believe he had no intention of winning.
He had no intention of winning potentially, but he also he even said it. He's he made a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. He allowed the wrong people to bring in so he brought in a bunch of the swampiest of the swamp.
That was the other thing that you look at, and I think we've talked about this, vote for the team. You like the Browns still, but you might not like their current. I know what you mean. You like the team. That there's things in there that maybe the Browns aren't a good example. Shit.
No, Browns are a great example.
Yeah.
I'm more loyal to the individuals.
But you're voting for Tulsi, RFK. There's people who were 2 minutes ago, they wanted RFK, but now he's not. Now he's on the Republican. Oh, he's a bad guy. like 2 seconds ago.
No, the only people that said he was the bad guy are the Democratic machine, who said he was the bad guy to
They
begin
wouldn't
with.
even take him off the ticket. It's just so crazy.
No,
they didn't want him on the
they
ticket.
Sued him to not be on
God.
the ticket. Then when he tried to take out the ticket, they sued him
No.
because that's how petty they are.
Yeah.
That's what drives me nuts.
Yeah.
My pet peeve is passive aggressive behavior.
Yeah.
They are the most passive aggressive, petty individuals in the world. And that is just a sign of weakness. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Give me a party that has a very clear vision for the future. Honestly, here's the thing. Had Kamala just come out, and I believe she actually has real strong opinions about some stuff, but she would be terrified to say what they truly are because she is more concerned about towing the line and following whatever direction she's being given by the strategist.
I don't think she's allowed to talk.
She's not.
Yeah.
But I mean, if she came out and was just, here's my position, here's what I believe, here's what I want to do for the future, even if I disagree with all of it, I'd have way more respect for her.
That'd be awesome. I think she should come out with our manifesto, the future of the country, and here's what I really believe, and it was just totally different, and we got to watch that.
Right, but nobody would believe her because she's changed so many times, right? That's the sad part. She's already spent that political capital.
Yeah.
And it's a very clear mandate, like you have no place at the top.
Yeah.
Not only did she lose the Electoral College by a landslide, but she's losing the popular vote. What does that tell you?
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, but it's not unexpected.
No, it's not. I'm just saying, like, when you think about it and how badly she performed, like,
right.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, I'm looking at this objectively, going, this is a shit show.
Yeah.
The story you're being told, and they're telling you to believe this is neck and neck, and it's so much energy behind the Harris campaign, and wow, there's a very good chance she's going to win. And then there's that goofball Alan Lichtman who's like, my 13 keys that have never been wrong, and she's still going to win the presidency. And I'm like, you're all out of your fucking mind, all of you.
Yeah.
Like, because my gut tells me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my gut is never wrong.
That's it.
But it's just, all you have to do is look around and go, this is fake enthusiasm.
Yeah.
There's no substance
You
here.
saw it. Busting
but it's not
people
hard to see.
in. No, just talk to people.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like if you live in certain towns where it's like super blue.
Right. Yeah.
I suppose that like it's just, you're never going to go down that critical thinking path. It's like, well,
or you're never going to do it publicly.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stories right now. A lot of like in Boston, there's these stories that are coming out. Like I've been acting sad in work this week because they're all upset. So they're pretending.
Dude.
Because they just don't want to deal with it.
But that's a part of the problem. You have so much of the population that acts that way. That's why they're so easily manipulated. But it's also...
No, these aren't... They voted for Trump. They didn't vote for Kamala.
Yeah.
But all the Kamala people at their office, let's just say, or their family, are all sad and in tears and all that kind of stuff. Like, I know, it really sucks. And in the meantime, they're like probably chuckling. And they're posting on Twitter with their fake account saying that like, oh, these fucking assholes,
But again, with all the sadness, I'm just like, what are you mourning? Like, did you actually have real enthusiasm and hope in a visionless candidate who said nothing?
Yeah.
Never, ever said anything that was clear that you could sit there and go, okay, let's have a debate about this policy position. It was so vague. Like, what hope did you lose? Oh, it wasn't about Kamala. We were trying to defeat Trump. What does that tell you? So I'm just glad that it's done. My hope is that it goes a lot better this time because there is intention on who he's trying to bring into his cabinet. I do think that it is very unique that he has RFK and he's got Tulsi Gabbard. There's several counties that were Democratic counties that flipped red, which is crazy, right?
Crazy.
But what does that tell you? The majority of America voting, I don't believe that they were like, yeah, Trump is our hope. But I believe they were voting against is the status quo. That seems apparent all over the place.
Yeah.
Everybody is sick and tired of the bullshit. And that comes from both the establishment Republicans and Democrats.
Yeah.
They're sick and tired of the bullshit. Majority, I believe the majority, you can, of course, fact check this here. The majority of registered voters are independent unless they had to switch their, to be able to vote in a certain primary.
Right.
They're independents. I'm independent. I'm not Republican. I'm not Democrat.
Yeah. A lot of people are
I voted for Trump, but I also voted for Jeff Jackson for AG, who's a Democrat.
Yeah.
I voted for the Libertarian for governor. I voted all over the place on the ticket, not just to fuck up the ballot.
Confuse them.
No, just because I'm like, hey, I did my homework on this.
A lot of people, Scott Adams is an example. He's Republican, but he's registered as a Democrat because he's fucking with them. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, if that's your thing.
Yeah.
Right. For me, I have no
They can't find you that way, I guess.
Oh, well, that's a good strategy then.
Right.
Yeah.
That's like living in California type stuff, though. You just want to make sure that, like, when the shit hits the fan, like, you're going to be good. But anyway, that was good. That was your 30-minute election episode.
I'm done.
Yeah, that's it. I love it.
What the best part is about being able to do this? There's nobody here to fact check me or tell me I'm wrong. It's great.
Yeah.